I finished painting the truck cab. In my previous video I showed you I did the truck bed. I had to strip it down to bare metal and leave the Bondo and then reprime. On the cab I just did a little repainting because it only had one coat of paint on it. I also reworked the bumper and the grill. This corner got hit and the filler piece got busted. As you can see, there's the piece that was busted. I also took the cornering light and I put in a actual light in there instead of being just a reflector. But everything came out pretty good. And now the truck is completely repainted. I got a little polishing to do. The windshield has a couple minor leaks. I also repainted the mirrors and the posts for the mirrors. And I was able to rebend the metal that holds them down so they don't fold in when I drive over 50 miles an hour. Another thing I did was I built a little shelf for all of my batteries. As you can see, it comes off the first two batteries to the left for this inverter, and then I have another cheapy Harbor Freight inverter that works off these two batteries, and between the two I can charge all my drill and my weed eater and my edger. All those batteries can be charged off of this without plugging in. I can also run the fan during the day off of this because the solar panel puts enough charge into the left batteries that the fan will run for free. It took a little bit of money to set that up, but it works. And I also am charging this power pack off the other two batteries just by hooking the leads to it, so it stays fully charged whenever I need it. So these are the upgrades I've been making in the garage. I am now working on a new way to make energy. I'm using transformers from microwaves, cutting them up, hooking up the 220 volt coil to it, and then I'm going to have this motor power it with 14 magnets. I just finished building this yesterday. I'm not quite done with it, but I expect it to make enough power to run itself, plus additional power to use as electrical backup in case of a storm. It also may power electrical aircraft and electrical cars on the fly, maybe a smaller version of this. But still in the experimental stage, I think it's going to work. I can run the motor off 110, and I expect this to make 220 to 260 volts. I may have to put a variac on the motor to dial in the exact voltage that I want. And now for what we're doing outside. As you can see, I'm getting ready to make these panels come in and out. I've got the electrical started. This was existing in the house for the shop. What I've done is convert it to the solar panels going all the way across the house to an electrical box there that will, of course, let the power be grid tie. What I'm going to do is put a board on the bottom, and then I've got some rebar where I can insert the rebar with a point into the ground, and they'll stay wherever I put them. And the reason I did this because there's such large hailstones here sometimes that I need to pull the stake up, pull them in, and cinch them down. But it's an excellent way to do it if you look at the fact that hailstones break solar panels. And one more thing I'd like to show you. This is the garden. I took this area and made a garden out of it. I had to chisel off all the concrete that was extra over the edge so I can get enough gap. But my onions and garlic are growing. Carrots are coming up. These are radishes. These are beets. I've got sweet peas growing. Big Goliath tomatoes. Actually got a tomato already starting, and I just planted these things. Then these are the bell peppers and onions and garlic again. And the reason I put onions and garlic on the end of the garden is that we have gophers here. And once they take a bite of the onion or the garlic, they don't want to come into the garden. They just go somewhere else to find food. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Adios.